What would you say to those who are just kind of overly critiquing the film at this point? You've worked so hard on it.
I'm getting on across. Hold on. Here. Yeah, hold on.
All right.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, I don't need your business. Thanks.
Yeah. Weird.
Behind the scenes, you guys know as well as I do that those executives like Spielberg are looking at that saying, Rachel Zegler can F right off.
The producers, far left-wing activists in Hollywood, are turning on her, and Disney has canceled all of Rachel Zegler's appearances on their media platforms. Kind of tough.
I truly do believe that. There's something wrong with her. She's disturbed, she's unhappy, and she thinks it's about feminism and the patriarchy and about abortion. But the reality is she's just not stable.
Rachel is literally the star of a Disney movie, and she acts like she's some sort of victim, and that's the sort of mentality that is just poisoning people's minds. Like, she acts like her life is so bad.
But you don't seemingly like your own character, so she comes off as an insufferable, whiny brat.
Rachel Zegler, like so many kids raised on TikTok, she's all for infanticide is the only global solution.
Now, I'm guessing that she's not married. I'm guessing that she doesn't have kids. The movie is a complete disaster, by the way.
Have they ever thought about maybe like a little bit of like, I don't know, vulnerability study, opposition research, that sort of thing, before you go and hire some Zoomer who's a lunatic?
And they postponed the release of this thing, Ben, for a year because their star, Rachel Zegler, was so unlikable.
Saying that audiences will always line up to see her no matter what she does.
Every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
You know what's interesting about all of this is that the only person waiting in line to see Snow White was Rachel Zegler.
Rachel Zegler has suddenly gone completely silent, just days after Disney reportedly asked her to pay up for the total disaster that was Snow White. The actress, who's been at the center of massive controversy, has now vanished from the spotlight. No interviews, no social media, nothing. And get this, multiple sources say she hopped on a plane and flew all the way to Dubai. Now everyone's asking the same thing. What is she running from? And what exactly is she trying to protect?
Every time she speaks, she gets less likable. There's some clip of her on the internet in her Snow White outfit saying, every hour I am in the outfit of Snow White wearing the dress. All 18 hours, I deserve to be paid for every single one. Oh, really? Are you having trouble paying your bills, Rachel? Did Steven Spielberg not pay you for your role in West Side Story? Did Disney fail to give you a healthy paycheck for, like, cry me a river? She's just exactly everything that we can't stand.
I'm gonna stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess. I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
Fans are stunned, Hollywood insiders are scrambling, and Disney is reportedly furious. Rachel's sudden disappearance comes after massive backlash, viral outrage, and rising legal drama. Sources say Disney execs were already considering serious options, like enforcing morality clauses or slashing her bonuses. No press, no red carpets, just silence. Now everyone's asking, is this really a break or a carefully planned escape? What's fueling the fire is the timing. Zegler vanished right after reports said Disney held an emergency meeting to decide if she's to blame for the Snow White disaster.
And then they had to hire a special media consultant for her to follow her around all the time and make sure she didn't continue shitting on Snow White and the prince and young love and women who want to get married and Steven Spielberg, the executive producer of her previous movie, and white people who she claims wanted to know if she was really a Latina on her first movie.
Alex, what has been the reaction to Disney's latest expensive own goal?
Well, the reaction has been absolutely horrible. It is the worst box office from a Disney live action remake that they've ever done.
I mean, they're projected to lose between $200 and $400 million on this.
Some believe the studio is gearing up for legal action, while others think quiet negotiations may already be in progress. But Zegler's silence, combined with her abrupt move overseas, has fans wondering, is she avoiding the media, or is she trying to escape something more serious, like legal trouble?
What would you say to those who are just kind of overly critiquing the film at this point? You've worked so hard on it.
I'm getting on across. Hold on. Here.
Yeah, hold on.
All right.
And this is where things get weird. Her team says she's just taking a break, but online detectives aren't buying it. Deleted posts, jet trackers, and a wiped schedule, something's up. No one knows when or if she's coming back. Meanwhile, Disney is in full panic mode after Snow White flopped hard. Insiders say the studio could lose up to $250 million. And now, there's buzz that they're pressuring Rachel to help cover the damage.
This woman shown here is not the actual woman playing Snow White, but the woman playing Snow White is named Rachel Zegler. And she and Gal Gadot, who plays the evil queen, were caught on the red carpet. This is actually from September of 2022, but it's resurfaced now because the movie's coming out, talking about what we should expect from Snow White.
You said you were bringing a modern edge to it on stage. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
Oh my God.
Nobody
Who
wants
wants
that.
a movie about true love? What kind of woman do we want out there seeking true love, Eliana? The outrage.
Insiders say things exploded after the film's opening weekend. Disney held a secret meeting to discuss whether Rachel Zegler's wild behavior broke her contract. From mocking the 1937 classic to pushing political views, her press tour caused serious damage.
They've been in a full meltdown about this girl for a couple of years now, and how they had her tweet out like a little, yay, Snow White, can't wait, so excited, I love to play her. And she did it and got like millions of views, and they were like, good job, Rachel. And then she, like minutes later, followed it up with, and never forget, free Palestine.
And isn't her co-star Jewish?
Yes, Gal Gadot, whatever.
Gadot. I mean, what?
Yeah.
Wow.
They tried, they flew an executive, one of the producers, out to go visit personally with Rachel Zegler to say, could you please take that down? Because we understand you can have your political views, but those aren't really helpful while you're trying to build an audience for a movie. Maybe you could save them for like your diary and your friends, but like maybe not, maybe just take the tweet down. And she wouldn't.
These weren't just bad interviews. They may have broken promo rules. Disney is now rumored to be considering taking back her bonuses, canceling deals, or even asking for repayment. One exec reportedly said, she burned down $1 billion brand with her own words, and no one in the room disagreed.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, I don't need your business. Thanks.
You know, I don't need your business. You know what? Maybe Disney does. Maybe you're a tool, you're a pawn in this film. You didn't write it. You didn't direct it. You have nothing to do with the creation of Snow White. Right. You should shut up and do the job.
While Rachel Zegler escapes from her own disaster and hides out overseas, something wild is happening back home. A movie made of pixel blocks, yep, Minecraft, just showed up and completely stole the spotlight.
You can't tell me Minecraft is the worst movie of 2025 when Snow White exists. That's right.
When we look, you can see families were more than willing to go to the box office to support something like the Minecraft movie, while Rachel Zegler's Snow White continues to plunge.
Critics mocked it. No one saw it coming, but fans showed up in droves, and now it's printing money like crazy. Let's break down how this blocky adventure crushed Rachel's so-called fairy tale and left her running for cover.
She's literally the only person there. And do you not understand how humiliating this is? Meanwhile, the experience at Minecraft goes something like this.
This is insane. Chicken
Minecraft in the United States in one weekend made more money than Snow White has made globally after 3 weekends. That's how bad it is right now.
Big mouth Rachel Zegler totally lost it after seeing the opening numbers for the Minecraft movie and realizing it crushed Snow White at the box office. You're not gonna believe this. Disney basically lit itself on fire and handed the win to a bunch of pixelated blocks. That's right. While the House of Mouse kept pushing its sloppy live-action Snow White, Minecraft stormed in and wiped the floor, making Disney's latest flop look like a bad high school project on YouTube.
So it got destroyed at the box office. Here's the box office numbers. The Minecraft movie made $60 million on Saturday. Snow White made $2 million.
And of course, this weekend, Minecraft came out, which has absolutely dominated the box office, done significantly better than analysts even projected. And now we're finding out that Snow White has officially crossed $160 million.
Critics were sure Minecraft would crash and burn. They called it too simple, too childish, too blocky to ever make it big in theaters. But guess what? The movie exploded with a massive $300 million global opening, turning all those expert predictions into a total joke. And Snow White? It barely crawled to $77 million after weeks in theaters. Yep, you heard that right. Even with Disney's massive marketing and non-stop hype, the movie flopped. Hard. Like, let's just pretend this never happened. Kind of bad.
And you know the saying, go woke, get broke, and Disney's going to lose money on this movie. And I believe it only made less than $1 million in China.
No one on the right side of America can stand the star of this movie.
Every way that Disney changed the story, it changed it for the worse.
Here's the real kicker. Disney thought they could coast on nostalgia and ignore every warning fans gave them. Turns out, trashing your own fairy tale isn't the best way to sell movie tickets. And trust me, this is just the beginning. Stick around, because what's coming next includes total boardroom panic, wild blame games, and a lead actress who somehow forgot she's playing one of the most iconic characters in movie history.
Turned over $157 million while earning another $144 million internationally. The Minecraft video game was introduced in 2011 and sold more than 300 million copies. So it actually has a fan base, user base, people that care about it. In theory, Snow White should as well. Snow White's the movie that made Disney, the studio. They should have been more cautious and careful with their own IP. It's a $1 billion IP. The Disney Snow White, faithfully adapted, would have made $1 billion.
The theaters were packed. Some showings were so loud, it felt more like a rock concert than a movie. No joke. Things got so wild, the cops had to show up and escort a few kids out because they were just having way too much fun.
Okay, and the cops had to escort the rowdy teenagers out. The Minecraft movie is doing something magical. It's creating a live audience reaction event where people are going to just be part of something to interact with the movie itself. The kind of thing that really creates like a kinetic movement.
And guess who's front and center in the voice cast? Jack Black. Yeah. He's said some wild stuff over the years, but when it comes to bringing big laughs and crazy energy, the guy delivers. He knows how to fill seats. Audiences instantly connected with the movie's fun, lighthearted vibe, and loved how it actually stayed true to the game's spirit, something Disney probably should have done with Snow White. And here's the kicker. Critics gave it a weak 40% on review sites, but real people, they gave it a solid 87%. That says it all.
You can see here the Minecraft movie is 48% on Rotten Tomatoes, 87% audience score. That's kind of all that matters because these people pay the bills, these people don't. Teens in suits shouting lines, cheering like it was a concert. Check out the energy, unreal. Disney Snow White is flopping hard. Why did Minecraft win? Because they stayed true to their actual audience. If Disney had made a faithful adaptation to the original Snow White, it would have made $1 billion.
And while Minecraft continues to break records, sell out theaters, and bring families together, Rachel Zegler is thousands of miles away, watching everything collapse from behind the scenes. The internet hasn't moved on. In fact, things have only gotten worse. Social media has turned into a digital battlefield. People are still picking apart her apology, line by line. Some users are comparing it to past PR scandals. Others are matching the exact phrases to classic damage control templates used by major studios. The general feeling? It wasn't even her words, just another post crafted by Disney's legal team, trying to patch up a PR disaster they should have seen coming. And honestly, that's what most fans believe now. The apology felt too clean, too scripted, too corporate. There was no emotion, no real ownership, no sign of someone who truly understood what went wrong. It came off cold and robotic, like a memo, not a message. Instead of softening the backlash, it poured gas on the fire. People weren't moved. They were annoyed. It just confirmed what many had already feared. Rachel Zegler wasn't speaking from the heart, because maybe she never was. And behind closed doors, the mood is just as bad. According to insiders, Rachel is devastated. There are whispers that she's broken down crying more than once, completely overwhelmed by how fast the tide turned against her. Not long ago, she was supposed to be the new face of Disney, the chosen one. She had spin-offs lined up, brand deals in the works, international campaigns ready to launch. People were calling her the next big thing. Now, her team is reportedly falling apart. Some want her to go all in, fire back, own the moment, rebuild her brand with a bold comeback. But others, they're saying it's time to disappear, lay low, vanish from the spotlight, maybe even for years. Play the long game, let the storm pass, if it ever does. Because let's be honest, this isn't just a bump in the road. This is a full-blown collapse, a total wipeout. Rachel Zegler's Hollywood dream didn't just slip away, it blew up on impact. And while she hides out in Dubai, Minecraft, a game made of blocks, is dominating headlines and dragging her film in the dirt. The contrast couldn't be more brutal. One film delivers fun, joy, and heart, and crushes the box office. The other tries to fix a beloved classic, scolds the audience, and flops harder than anyone could have predicted. And what about Disney? The studio that once ruled the world is now fumbling the bag on a weekly basis. Executives are pointing fingers. Marketing is in shambles. And the fans? They've had enough. Snow White was supposed to be a slam dunk, a safe bet. Instead, it became a masterclass in what not to do, on screen and off. And Rachel, whether fair or not, she's now the face of that failure. Her comments about the original story being outdated, her jabs at the prince, her dismissive tone, it all added up. And now she's carrying the blame, while the studio quietly distances itself in the background. It's sad, it's shocking, and it's probably not the ending she imagined when she first put on that famous dress. So what's next? Will she bounce back? Will Disney pretend none of this ever happened? Or is this heading toward a full-blown legal fight over that rumored $120 million loss? One thing's for sure. Rachel Zegler's silence speaks louder than any scripted apology ever could. And this story, it's far from over. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because we know you've got a lot to say. And if you want more uncensored updates on Hollywood's biggest train wrecks, wildest flops, and behind-the-scenes chaos, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. This ride is just getting started.